feeding the homeless was spectacular. We got out there, we did what we had to do. We actually walked the streets to feed the streets. So that was fantastic. There's footage on YouTube. Go under Black Lipstick, BLAQUELIPSIXXX. In the building with us tonight is those guys. It's Branden and Shaquille, producers of Couples Therapies, that's now playing on BET, as well as owners of Neve.
The founders
of Neve. Okay, all right. Well, I'm glad to have you with us on this rainy Monday.
Thank you.
You know, it's super rainy, so I'm glad you guys are here safe first.
Absolutely, yeah, it was kind of crazy. Traffic getting a little crazy on
Right. I mean, they go extra fast.
Yeah, I'm more afraid of the not the rain, but the drivers driving the rain.
Absolutely, that's me too. I'm just like, dude, what are you doing on the highway? There's a big diesel truck like on the side with a baby bug. It's yellow. It's a little bitty baby bug. Please don't let me hide
Is it me or do 18-wheelers drive faster in the rain?
They do drive faster in the rain.
I was like, I thought it was me.
Let's blame them when something happens. It wasn't me, it was the rain.
Like, I think they splashed me on purpose.
No, it was a car to try to get. But anyway, we'll get back to that. So tell us a little bit about, first of all, you guys brothers?
No.
I just met him yesterday.
Yeah, like, a lot of people think that.
Picked them up on the bottom.
Actually, as I was coming to this radio interview, I said, man, you look a sharp individual. Just come on board, man. I think we can talk some good stuff and teach some people some stuff.
You know, it's crazy. Like, it's crazy that story sounds like. It's kind of how we met. Like, not literally like that, but our connection. It was untraditional, like how we met. Like, I just contacted him on Facebook because I saw him getting busy.
Okay.
You know, like he was handling his business, and that was the beginning of our relationship. Of course, that was a few years ago.
Yeah.
But
Cool.
But it just kind of shows how I really don't believe neither of us would be where we was going to be at if we didn't meet each other. So that's just kind of like how to cherish every relationship that you come in contact with and make the most out of it.
Absolutely, I agree to that. And you just never know.
Never know.
Who you need and where you need them.
But can I say one thing?
Yes.
I just like I don't go up to people and ask them if they're brothers, but like we be walking together and just randomly ask us are we brothers. Like even if I think someone's a brother and sister, I'm not gonna go and ask them that. Now I understand this radio interview, but I just never got that. Isn't that weird?
You never got it. It's a light skin thing.
Oh.
You cornmeal, you a little lighter, so and then y'all about the same height, so almost.
That's weird, but think about it. Why do people care? Why, like if we were brothers, even if we were identical twins, like, and then it'd be men that ask that. I'd never get the question from a female.
Yeah.
Are y'all twins? I'm like,
that's a pickup line if she does.
Oh, we are in the we don't line now.
Yeah. Okay, all right.
Let's go on.
yeah.
So tell me a little bit about how you became producers for Couples Therapy. I watched it. I was like, oh my God, they doing this. She's singing. You know what I'm saying? We were nosy. We were all in your business. So tell us about how you became producers for Couples Therapy.
I guess I can start off. It's crazy, and it's kind of a learning lesson that I've learned throughout from the experience that I've had. The company that actually, has executive producer show and help actually invest into the show. I used to actually work for them years ago because my background is film. So I used to want to be a director for a big movie or be an executive producer one day for movies. So I used to shoot and edit for them with my camera and my laptop. I used to be that guy that you saw in the club that you were asking for pictures dragging around.
Right.
And I look back now, I'm thinking that back in the day I used to say, man, one day I'm gonna have my own movie on TV. I don't know when it's gonna happen, but it's gonna happen one day. So as I kept pushing and trying to get that experience, I look back now, if I took the traditional route to become an executive producer for my own very own TV show, or a director or something, of that caliber, I would have never got there. So what kind of got us there is, we got this, like we're gonna talk about Nove a little bit later, but what got us in this market was the entry we got in, we became six-figure earners. And that had nothing to do with film, it had nothing to do with the company I used to work for, but they just saw how we grew as individuals, businessmen. We had the capital, we had the know-how, and they just saw trusted in us and we trusted them, and we made something happen. And outside of film, I still made a film happen.
Yeah, shout out to Rick Atari, by the way.
Exactly.
He's the man behind the magic.
Yeah.
He really between him and Tangi, they both really put it down. But I kind of came into the situation. Of course, Brandon had a relationship with him. I didn't know him from Frank. And actually, I was having a meeting where we stayed at in Buckhead at the time. We were actually roommates. And during the meeting, I'm kind of not trying to be nosy,
Just a little bit.
but they were talking, and of course we were both already business partners in another venture, and when I heard what they were kind of talking about, I wasn't trying to ear, so I'm like, man, y'all sound like y'all really making it happen. They became business partners with us in another venture, and so we're building a little rapport. And when I heard their plans, you know, I'm like, man, that sounds good. Like, I really like what y'all got going on. And I said, look, listen, if y'all open, man, I'll definitely be in. And, you know, he kind of was like, you know what, I really like you. At the conversation, we filling each other out. And, you know, originally it was going to be just between Branden and them because they had the rapport and the relationship already. But, you know, I just kind of told him, like, I believe in the vision as well. And we all became partners.
And then here we are.
We are now.
We are.
My own TV show.
Your own TV show, Couples Therapy. What inspired Couples Therapy?
Well, it's based off of Selena Johnson's album.
Okay.
You know, she actually put out an album entitled the same thing. You know, Chapter 6, Couple Therapy, which the sound, that's where the songs came from. That's featured on the movie. You know, they call it a musical movie. Yeah. Right. You know, so they were really behind that. You know, her vision obviously with the album and everything she produced. And the movie was just based on that. So some of the music that she put on that.
Yeah, and well, also it's just, you know, creating that vision, something that what really inspired us to do it also was we already knew that this movie was going to be that breakthrough that we needed to create many more movies. This is just the beginning. And I'm an inspired filmmaker, and I realized that this was the break I needed because y'all going to see a lot more stuff out of me and Shaquille, Tangy B, Rick Atara, and just Black Street music, period, and Tired 2 films.
Absolutely.
Well, that works out, absolutely. So who went to school for video production?
Branden, me.
Branden went to school for video production. Okay. So tell me about how your journey with that. Did you ever get discouraged, like, you know?
Oh my God. Let me get started on that. So I went to school. You know, it's funny how I got into film because I don't know if anyone can relate with me, but when I was in high school, about 12th grade, 11th grade, 12th grade, going into 12th grade, I didn't have no idea what I was going to do after school. I had no goals or visions. And so I heard about this thing though, where I was one of those type of kids where if I can get out of school early, I'm going to take advantage of it. So yeah, so I enrolled into this program last minute where they have different things that you can do as far as trades. And I tried to become a mechanic. I wanted to work on cars, cool cars. That's what everyone did in high school. And it was overbooked, so there was only 2 classes left on cosmetology and video production.
You chose.
I chose. I'm gonna let y'all guess what I chose, but it wasn't cosmetology. So I got into that, and I just fell in love with it, and it kind of brought me to a whole new life. And I didn't want to be an entrepreneur until I got introduced to that information as far as videography. So I went to school at the Art Institute of Atlanta and got my degree in that. But then, yes, like you said earlier, I got extremely discouraged. Because yes, something can be your passion, but if you're not doing things that have anything to do with your passion, like I used to work for like Clark Atlanta, and they used to do like the most boring films for teachers. Now I love film, but I don't like filming that. Shout out to the music industry, but there's certain, like I love good music, but when you have to shoot bad music, it kind of destroys your image when it comes to videos. Like, and I was an editor, and I was like really good. This one guy actually told me what kind of discouraged me from the industry to move on once I was editing, and this guy, he used to like, you know, he performed in the tank top. I told him to dress, you know, nice. He came into a tank top, and so I'm editing the editing process, and he comes to me and said, "Hey man, can you add a tuxedo to me?" And that's when I gave up on the industry. I was like, "Excuse me?" I had a tuxedo to you. Like, no, I can't. Until we're one doing the actual shoot. And I just realized that, you know what? I just saw cameras getting cheaper and cheaper. And I wasn't progressing like I wanted to, and outside of my passions, I wanted to be rich and have a lot of time to myself. And I had this one single goal: if I can make enough money not to work a job, I was going to be happy. I didn't care if it was $2,000 a month outside of a job, I was going to be happy. So I got introduced to this industry, which made it happen, and everything else, life just took its course at that point.
Highly favored, that's what I'm saying. So you're founders of Novate. Tell us about that, because I've seen a lot of people with you on some of your pictures on Facebook. Was it a training conference?
Oh yes. Well, we have meetings. Like, I don't know which pictures you're referring to. We take a lot.
We go down your whole timeline. We've seen everything.
Right. So yeah, like we have trainings, we have conferences. Sometimes we just have meetings introducing other people to it. But really, it's a lifestyle company. You know, like I tell a lot of people, you know, like, to make it simple, anybody who's aspiring to be an entrepreneur, anybody who wants more, and that's really what it's about, bringing the best out of people and giving them opportunity to take their life to the next level. Because we needed that. We needed that, and that's really why, you know, I even regardless of how I do financially, like, I'm staying in this industry and always try to reach back, you know, because that's really what it's all about.
How big is Novate?
right now we tap danced with about 4,500 members.
Yeah, and the company launched December 15th.
Yeah.
In about 90 days, a little bit over 90 days, 4,500
I think it's been
members.
like 97, 98 days.
So how do you get in a program or get into Novate in order to start your life starting, to get everything rolling?
Well, first of all, you got to get in contact with the Novate member, right? Like it's no way in other than getting down with somebody who's already down.
Just to kind of help the individuals who are listening, try to kind of understand this industry. Essentially, if you're joining something or a service or product that you see value in, in a traditional way, you just enjoy the service and then you tell someone you don't get paid. When Novate, if you join this membership, and to inspire to be an entrepreneur, to inspire to get your finances in order as far as getting your credit together, having a better relationship with your money, and just being more responsible with your money and being able to save money on things you already buy, and just being around people or an environment of people who want you to do better, not just talk about doing better, because I know a lot of people, their friends tell them that, and I know you can do anything, but once you actually do it, they tell you not to do it, and I can see why I have to be backwards.
To make it, not to draw.
Yeah, go ahead.
To make it really simple, it's just like this. They have the company have services and products that people can utilize. You know, the way to get involved is if you can utilize it, then use it. You know, it's that simple. Like the way you go to the movies or the way you purchase anything that you have at the store, if you want that, then you're paid for it. You know, the company have products and packages that they offer, and if you want to utilize it, then you utilize it. If you know somebody else who wants to, then you get compensated for doing so. And it's, if you want, I guess I can kind of tell you an experience on what kind of led me to Novate specifically. Okay. It's a network marketing industry for those who don't realize it, and what I saw Novate as something special is because a lot of things that they offer that I wish I had before I was successful. Absolutely.
And Shaquille can attest to this. So I was making 6 figures a year and
5 figures a month.
5 figures a month, high 5 figures, a lot of money. And after a while, I was like so excited. I said, I'm gonna reward myself. And at this point, when you went from making 1,000 a month to over 5 figures a month, you think you can get anything.
Right.
So I went to go get my dream car, an Audi. And it was looking so beautiful. Like I was telling this kid, like, man, I'm about to drive up this thing, man. This is what I want. I was cocky with it. I said, this is what I want.
Right.
So we went to the part that matters, and they put my credit score up. And they told me I was not going to get approved, and somehow they talked me into getting some really lame Benz.
We ended up leaving a lot in the Benz, man. It was crazy.
Yeah.
It was an old Benz, too. I'm like, yo, we are.
I said, how did I end up in this? So, like, after a month, I went back. I said, I'm getting what I got. And they finally gave it to me.
Yeah.
And this is what a learning lesson. This is how I realized how important credit is. Because my dad used to tell me, take care of your credit. Take care of your credit. And I said, I'll figure it out when I get there. Yep. And I got there. And I wish I figured it out a long time ago. So I went and got the car, and I didn't. If you have bad credit, if you don't care about your credit, you probably don't care about interest rates, because I didn't know nothing about that. Yeah. And so they gave me a 22% interest rates, and at that point, only thing I heard about interest was, I'm interested in this car. Can you give me the car?
Right.
I drove up the car. I was feeling good. I drove for about 12 months. I went to go refinance the car. I said, okay. They asked me, how much you think you got left in the car? I said, I'm paying $900 a month. I probably have about $21,000 left, because I live about 13, 14 months. So they pulled my thing up. They said, yeah, so you got about $27,000 left. I said, what?
How much was the car?
Oh, well, let me say the loan was $30,000, and I had $27,000 left after 15 months of paying $900 a month.
Right. So the moral of the story, the reason why I brought this up when it comes to Novate is because Novate offers credit education.
Wow. Okay.
And also, you get professionals helping you with your credit situation. You know, so like that's essential. You know, like we both needed it.
Yes, credit is essential. During my time, our parents didn't tell us anything, and so help us out. Now, again, we're going to go to credit counseling. So anyway, but we'll be right back. DJ the Kid is on the ones and twos. This is Branden and Shaquille.
Just to kind of leave off what we were talking about earlier, as far as our generation, being that lost generation, I believe a lot of people are lost because right now we're being taught that we're in a bad economy, and that's the problem. So usually when there's bad, that means you wait for good. And when you wait for good, that can possibly happen. But the thing is, the economy never went bad. The economy changed. So you have to change with it. And a lot of people are still stuck in the old economy, and their parents are giving them advice from the old economy. Like the advice they're giving is genuine advice that worked back in the day in the old economy. But there's a new economy, so there's new ways to make money. And so a lot of people, they can't get it. It's like bringing a tape player or a tape to a 2015 car and expecting to play some good music. It's impossible.
Right. I mean, it's so true. Like the day and age we live in is different. Like Like you can put an opportunity in front of somebody to actually take their life to the level, whatever level they want to take it to. Realistically, people wouldn't even be able to receive it right now. Like with the current mindset that they're in, like people words, I can't afford it, I can't do it, or that's impossible. Like if you would have told me we'd be here talking about what we're talking about right now 2 years ago, that would have been impossible to me. You know, like it was unrealistic. Like people gotta understand that. You know, anything is realistic if you make it happen. The word unrealistic shouldn't even be that shouldn't even be a part of anybody's vocabulary.
Right, can't either or impossible.
Right, exactly. Because at the end of the day, anything is possible. So just taking advantage of opportunity.
What motivates you far as, like, I know that it gets discouraged and has to at one point or another when you're constantly telling someone, you know, you can, and then you get the pessimistic person says, I can't, I can't, and it becomes frustrating at one point or another. You're carrying burdens.
Absolutely.
I just have one thing to say, and I'll piggyback off of you after this, but a lot of people say I can't because they're scared. They say that out of fear, and they say success is hard. But I always question that. Well, if success is hard to get, what about your lifestyle? Is that hard? So you're gonna live a hard lifestyle regardless. I would rather go for somewhere where I can actually live a better lifestyle. And if you're the type of individual that you don't believe you can be successful, truly cannot be successful, instead of being that individual, become the individual that can be.
And another thing I'll say, like we do deal with a lot of people on the day-to-day who aren't optimistic, or who don't, who's not ready to take their life to the next level. And I try to give them a little bit of encouragement, but I tell you, I don't waste time. I don't waste time. Like it's just, look, this simple. Look, I know what it takes to make it happen. I'm making it happen. If you serious about it, then let's work. If not,
sometimes it's really just about making people more aware.
Right.
And I always say this, like, I say about the reality thing.
Right.
You think I should tell them?
Some people want to hear the reality thing.
Some people need a reality check.
We need a reality check.
All right. So sometimes in order to get a real check, you gotta get a reality check first.
Okay.
Yep.
And what I always teach people to do is, like, a lot of people have this vision one day to live this dream lifestyle, but they hate their life. They can't figure out how to get to where they want to be. Like right now, you want to write. There's a lot of people that have these dream goals. Like they want to be an artist. They want to do this. But let's talk about they want that Bugatti, or they want that nice house. But instead of trying to figure out how to get those dreams and those visions, what they do, they talk themselves out of those dreams and visions. And they say, you know what? I don't need a car, a Lamborghini. I don't need a BMW. Just get a car from point A to point B. I don't have that many children. Let me just get a little small apartment where I can go straight to the kitchen. That's way more convenient. And see, people start talking themselves out of that dream. But I guarantee there's no child that's ever grown up and they said, I just want a car from point A to point B. So that's how you know people are knocking their own dreams. Right. So instead of letting that vision push you towards success, let that remind you where you want to go, and just create a reality board.